Hey there guys, Justin Shankan up here, and as promised, this week I have a brand new video here. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what I consider to be one of the best light machine guns ever. Now, for all you Battlefield 4 players out there, this weapon may be quite well familiar to you. That's right, but the in-game appellation of Ghost Recon Wildlands is the 6P41. But of course, as many Battlefield 4 players, like myself from time to time, I'm known by its real name, the PKP Pecheneg. The PKP Pecheneg is a high damage light machine gun, and believe me when I tell you this, it can definitely do the work. It can definitely do the work if you are properly well trained enough to handle its massive recoil. Well, now, sure, the Pecheneg may not be for everybody. But for some people like me, it can really do some serious damage. That is, of course, if you could handle its monstrous recoil, which of course is one of the main key characteristics about the PKP Pecheneg. So now that we got us on a basic overview of it, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the base stats for the PKP Pecheneg. So these here are the main stats of the PKP Pecheneg. Of course, in game the 6P41, but I prefer going by its real name. Anyways, as you can see, the PKP Pecheneg does have some pretty favorable characteristics. Now, its rate of fire and handling may not be so good, neither is its accuracy or its damage. But don't let that fool you, because the Pecheneg really does have great range and really good penetration, and almost halfway a full. It is exactly halfway, or close to it, I should say. Hey, but now, sure, I know there's going to be other light machine guns out there that has a bit more favorable characteristics, such as a bit more better speed, a bit more damage output, greater range. So I guess you can say that the Pecheneg kind of fits in the middle of the bill. But of course, this is what the base PKP Pecheneg looks like. Now, in terms of polish, you really can't do a whole lot. You can't change the stock, but the only thing you can change is the scope, the rails, the barrel, and the muzzle. The magazine comes in a standard 175 round drum, or box, I should say, which is really, really good. You got plenty of ammunition, plenty of firepower. But again, one thing you have to consider is its recoil. You can't expect it to stay in a small circle. No. If you pin that trigger down, the recoil is going to bounce around all over the place like a jackrabbit on steroids. So yeah, my advice, if you're planning on using the Pecheneg, just start out with a quick tap. Get yourself up a few. Start up with either a 2 or 3 round bursts. But if you really do think you can handle this PKP, well then by all means pin the trigger down. Just make sure that you have a good enough proper firing discipline to handle it. So anyways, but we will get more into the recoil test later. But for now, let me show you what I would recommend in terms of attachments for the Pecheneg. Now, sure, you can use the iron sights, but if you want a bit more of a clearer sight picture, I would recommend a sight, either the panoramic, the EXPS3 holographic, Micro T1, or the Russian red dot sight. But for me personally, I would favor the holographic side. It actually gives you a bit more of a somewhat clear picture, and it really does help you out a lot. Of course, you can't do anything with the trigger. You can't change the magazine. Now, as for the rail cover, I mean, sure, you can add a laser sight if you want to, but who in the world wants to sacrifice all that an extra hand? Now, as for the standard barrel, if you want to improve your damage, your accuracy, and your range a little bit more, I of course would fit up with a long barrel attachment. Sure, it's going to make your handling to pretty much sluggish as a slug, but I think the trade-off for better accuracy is worth it. Now, of course, I don't have the compensator version 2 yet, which is something I would recommend to help you get a little bit of that handling back. But in the meantime, just stick with a regular compensator because it does help you boost your accuracy more. So yeah, that there is just pretty much basically my preferred setup until I get compensator version 2. Now, in terms of the optics, I mean, all the optics, it's going to have the same effect with all the stats. There's really no significant changes other than visual-wise. So, yeah, it's probably best that you just go which one floats your boat. So now, of course, out there on the way, why don't we take a look at the PKP Pecheneg in action? So as I have stated several times before already, the PKP Pecheneg is a monster. All right, this gun is a bruiser, and it can actually hit pretty far. It can hit pretty far too. But of course, just remember one key thing. It's all about control of recoil. As you can see with those two cocktail guys, at a close enough range, you probably need only about 3 to 4 shots, which I think is more than generous. Whoa! Hold on, let me take care of this sniper here. Boom! Because with a headshot, that one's easy. Just one single shot to the head. Boom! One shot to the head, instant kill. No problem there. It's game over from that point on. But now, so anyways, let's go ahead and just view out the cons first. And as I have stated several times before already, one thing to keep in mind is recoil. The recoil is really going to hamper your progress, and it's just going to be a bit of a pain in the neck to handle with, especially if you're trying to take on targets at a long distance. Another thing that I think is worth mentioning is, of course, the handling characteristics. You're not going to be able to snap onto your sight as quickly as you would with an assault rifle, a pistol, or a submachine gun. So that, of course, being said, I think that that's pretty much basically it about the cons. It's just its handling and its recoil. But now that we got those cons out of the way, let's go into some of the much more favorable characteristics about the PKP Pecheneg. Hey, for example, the PKP Pecheneg, as I said before, it's a heavy bruiser. Bruiser, my friends. I mean, this machine gun here can dish out a whole lot of damage in a very short amount period of time. And that there, my friends, is living proof. It can just tear up vehicles like it's nothing. Make them the Swiss cheese even. I, another, another great A Pro is that it has a generous magazine and capacity of 175 rounds. That there, my friends, is more than enough firepower for you to have at your disposal. Another another other good thing is that it has a generous recoil. Sorry, not recoil. It has a generous reload speed. It's not the fastest, but it's far from being the slowest either. I think that there. So with that, I think that there is quite well a balanced middle of the road, and so and of course from what I've seen and from counting the seconds in my head, it pretty much sounds like it would take. It pretty much sounds like it looks like it will take roughly about 3 seconds, I think, which to me is still a very generous reload speed to reload your Pecheneg, whether it has round the chamber or if it's empty. Empty. But just to be sure, I am going to time it, which is something which is something I rarely ever do. In fact, I've never done this before. But let's go ahead and see how long it takes to reload the PKP Pecheneg. Ready, set, go! Takes 4.10 seconds. Huh. That's interesting. But it's still pretty good. So anyways, with that there being said, final thoughts about the PKP Pecheneg. Yeah, it's just this. The PKP Pecheneg is a heavy bruiser. Oh, wait. Before I forget, let's do a recoil test. I almost forgot about doing the recoil test. So let's go ahead and see how well it does in terms of recoil. Alright, so of course now here are the sights. That's my here are the holographic sights. But we're going to focus on that. Let's focus more on the recoil. As I'm sure you probably noticed, the recoil will sometimes go up, but it will bounce around to one side or the other, which of course is something to keep in mind, especially if you're pinning in down the trigger. So with that strong upward recoil, one of the best ways to do it, if you're still planning on giving down some firepower, or but do something full auto, you may just want to slightly, of course, just hold down the right stick. If you hold down the right stick while maintaining that intense amount of firepower, it will surely keep people's heads down. But if you want to be more precise how to follow the target, just go with small, short bursts. Again, it's all thanks to that firing discipline, which is something that it takes. It does take a good considerable amount of firing discipline and self-control. Those are the two important things to have when you're handling a light machine gun, especially something like the PKP Pecheneg or the M60 Echo 4. Okay, so now we can go into the conclusion. Final thoughts? With the PKP Pecheneg, it is a beast of a machine gun. I mean, this thing can just tear up cartel, Unidad vehicles I mean, you got 175 rounds in that box magazine, which will make you a beast in the battlefield. So with that, of course, being said, thank you very much all for watching. I really do hope that you learned about this, and I really do hope you give this Pecheneg a try. I really do hope that you give the PKP Pecheneg a try. But of course, in the Ghost Recon Wildlands, so that should be called the 6P41. I mean, which is nice and all, but like I said, I still prefer its in-game appellation. I still prefer the in-game appellation. Sorry. I still prefer its real-life name, which is the PKP Pecheneg. I really do appreciate you guys' patience with my videos, and I also do apologize if I did any repetitives or if I was stuttering with my words. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.